as the blog says, I had really never thought about it until he said it. I was on a podcast with Chris Baran of Baran & Associates. And if you don't know Chris, you might want to look him up because he's fabulous at the way he thinks about insurance. He's a true leader and a thought provider to helping us agents get better. And something that he said to me is, Jason, this is nothing more than a business income problem that we're going through. And that really blew my mind. It really did. As I said in the blog post, it set my mind ablaze because it got me thinking about something. And that is that the life that we know it, and the life that we need it to be, that we live every day, our norm that we used to be in, has to be allowed to only function and happen if we have insurance products in them. What does that mean? What that means is insurance is vital to everything that happens around us, and it's tough for you to not see. If you're an insurance agent, you know this. But for anybody else of the 99% of the people out there, you may not realize that everything around you happens to be with insurance. And if you want to ever picture what the world would look like without insurance, you're living in it right now. Think of what insurance does. It's nothing more than where somebody transfers risk from one person or company to another company, like an insurance company. They manage the risk. Think of a contractor in downtown New York trying to build a 80-story building with 50-story buildings all around it. What would happen if that building would fall over, fall on another building, do billions of dollars in damage? Maybe it would harm or kill people. There's no way a contractor and a developer could assume that much risk. But for a premium, an insurance company will analyze the scenario in the project and say, if you pay us this much money, we will assume this much risk, so in case something happens, we'll back you. Now the project can go on, everybody's safe, everybody's covered, and we can grow. That's what we do. There's millions of those contracts going on across America every day. When you drove to work, you probably drove by 6 of them. When you've been sitting at home, you've been watching TV with tons of contracts going on. Think of life insurance. We had people who were passing away who were breadwinners, who as they tried to grow their family, they had acquired things that brought taxes, debt. And when that person dies unexpectedly, what was that family to do? It tempted and it lessened people to take chances because they didn't want to put their family in those positions, and they wanted the best for their family even if they weren't here. The insurance companies came along and said, guess what? Here's an insurance product called life insurance. If they should happen to pass before you would be expecting it, we will pay a lump sum. And knowing that peace of mind, families can grow, they can prosper, and they can get better. There's tons of these examples out there. But what's important to understand is right now we're living in a time through this pandemic where we didn't have an insurance product to support us in this challenging time in our new temporary norm. And that's the reason why we have devastation. Something called business income, which is currently on insurance policies, but they do not cover viruses. And for many reasons why. As an insurance agent, I agree with it. But I also know that we can create products that could work alongside or in conjunction with the current business income we have now that could then provide insurance for these types of viruses if it would happen. The language is going to have to almost be rewritten, but that's okay. We can do that because I want to let you know that insurance is awesome and it can change and it can face the world's problems head on and it can solve them. And I know it can because it always has.